We are live. Today is what is today? Day 23? Day 23 of Miracle March. And it's super exciting. If today is your first day joining us, our mission is to transform minds using coaching, inspiring and mentoring aspiring entrepreneurs, and just helping them to succeed and giving them tools to succeed. And if it is that you're like, what is going on in Keston's background? We're traveling. We're going from home to home. We're going from Georgia to Tennessee, and we're almost at home. But I like keeping my commitments, so I'm joining from the car. And today we got a super special guest. Yo, Adrienne, what's up? It's
Hey,
24.
Keston.
Today's day 24. Crazy. What's
Hey,
up, Adrienne?
it's all good. No worries over here.
So I don't know if you, well, clearly you know.
Hmm.
So when somebody says something with their mouth and their body language says something totally different, I call
Hmm.
them out like almost immediately,
Okay.
right? So and I have sort of an advantage because while we were backstage, we kind of started talking about some stuff,
Hmm.
and your body language doesn't say at all, man, I'm doing great. Your body language says something totally different. So what is your body language actually saying?
I thought my body language was open to talk.
Let's
Hash
talk.
it out.
Let's talk. Let's hash it out. Talk
Hmm.
to me. What's going on?
So I did door knocking with an individual last weekend, and so the baseline of it is I've been doing door knocking for about a solid month now, and I was doing it, and I'm of the mindset of where I need to door knock with a person because it's a lot easier, a lot less intimidating to go with a team instead of just by myself. There's other perspectives. There's ways of where there might be something that I'm missing. So that was a handicap possibly that I put on myself, thinking that I couldn't deliver a deal on my own without someone helping me. So I still have that in my mind. So when I got with this individual last weekend, um, we were all the same page. We're gonna go and get this deal done. We're gonna go knock on doors and help people who are going through foreclosure. So when we went out, we had an agreement that whatever deal we get, it's going to be 50-50 split and all that. And it was great. We knocked on doors. We went with the same mindset of helping people. And when we got a deal, um, then everything just switched way left at that point. And a lot of things were done unilaterally without discussing it with me or telling me after the fact. And it's been almost a week of the same action happening. And it caused a lot of issues with me and my partner because it seemed like I wasn't stepping up to correct the bad behavior, the bad action that was happening with this other individual. And so that caused a lot of burden on my partnership. And because pretty much if I didn't say anything, I was pretty much in agreement with it, with what was happening. So it caused a lot of issues just within those 6 days. So
What would what could you have done differently?
I definitely could have been like more vocal in where I was, what I was thinking, and stop the bad behavior before it really got out of hand. And because of I'm not much of a person that does confrontation well, because of the conversation got heated very much, like because it was a conversation between me, this individual, and my partner, trying to get some clarity on the situation on how the deal was going to be transacted, and emotions went hot, and accusations were sent, and it seemed like from my partner's perspective that I didn't come to his aid or stop the whole accusations from happening. Pretty much I was silent, and in my silence, I was like pretty much agreeing with what that individual was saying. Like he didn't have anything to do with the deal whatsoever, and um, and I was like pretty much agreeing with that, and that hurt my partner. My silence hurt him.
Okay.
Mhm.
So your silence hurt your partner. How do you feel about the situation?
I was completely stressed by the whole situation. I went into it trying to help folks, and possibly get a paycheck out of it as well, but more or less helping those people that were in trouble. Um, and I guess I was doubting my own, what did I say? I was doubting my own involvement, I guess, not involvement, but my knowledge of
Hmm.
how to deal with the transaction. So this individual, he was just very, very opinionated, very, very outspoken, and very confident in his outward appearance or what have you. And I saw that it exuded from him, and I'm like a little bit more timid and I'm a little bit more cautious. So he was like spearheading the whole entire thing, and I'm just there along for the ride. And that's what was projected to my partner, because the questions that I was asked in regards to the transaction, I didn't have all those answers because the other person was pretty much getting all that information and not sharing it with me, you know.
Hmm.
Um, so I felt very much in the dark with this individual, and not wanting to rock the boat, I guess, so that my inability to deal with the confrontation or deal with it head on was an issue. And it just made things way worse. My inability to deal with the confrontation, and it made things worse with my partner. So I didn't even know how to even navigate that. So I just really just went inside myself. Pretty much, I went to a dark space. So I have gone through therapy and everything, and I know I when I get into those stressful situations, I regress back into myself. I just go into a dark place, and I'm really hard on myself at that point,
Hmm.
and I just blame myself for everything. And I mean, technically, this is my issue, my fault, because I didn't do what I was supposed to initially. So, yeah.
So what's your role in the partnership? What's your position in the partnership?
I am the integrator, and he is the visionary. So he sets the route of where we're going to go, and I implement that. So what has been happening is, originally I felt like it was still on me to do most everything, because the dynamic of our partnership is I have the flexibility of my time. So I don't have a W-2. So the door knocking, the lead generation, contracts, and listening to education videos and stuff like that, all that falls to me to organize and get through and everything. And it's overwhelming, So I'm like, okay, I don't know which way to go or which way to start. And if I dedicate my time over here, then there's going to be something over here that's missing that I needed. And I'm like, okay, I need focus, I need clarity, So that's what I kept on asking for. um, and then when he would provide focus and clarity and whatnot, we're going to focus on this. It'd be something that I'm like, I'm way over here, but you're wanting me to focus on this. I'm like, but this is not going to take care of getting the transaction done. So it was at odds. Right. So I'm like, all right. So I took a step back, and I'm listening to him as the visionary, and at the side at the other to the other point of, I guess I didn't have a very clear mindset of where our partnership is our partnership, but it doesn't stop me from doing something with another individual, and I didn't realize that would conflict, you know. So I guess I didn't make that differentiation or connection, that if I include another party into this, that could hurt my partnership that I currently have, that I've built trust and have this history with.
So partnerships are interesting, right?
Mhm.
Especially partnerships that's not defined. And understanding roles, positions, and even the type of partner you want is super, super duper duper kaluper important. Because, like you said, you could either do it where you generated a lead and then pass it on to your partner for him to close it out, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
For him to deal with the relationship. As soon as you get the lead, you pass it on. But then there's the other part where you could partner with somebody else. Now, if you're trying to build a long term relationship, I would definitely advise that you stick with that one partner, that one visionary person,
Mhm.
and just do 50-50 deals. Like you generate a lead, like bring it to the table. Don't try to do it on your own. And like, to me, that stuff is kind of shisty, shady.
Mhm.
Um, and people do it all the time, but I just don't think there's long term relationship there, especially when you're doing a deal in the same exact field, right? Like if it was a totally different field, if you partnered with somebody doing Amazon, then oh, cool, totally different field. But if it's real estate, it's exactly what you and your original partner are looking for.
Mhm.
Then now I can understand why there's conflict. So first is defining. And so if it is that you see door knocking and generating leads as something that you could do, but then you don't pass that lead on to him,
Mhm.
now I could see why you would also be in the position that you're in, because now you're stepping outside of your own personality, right? Because now you're getting into things that may require sales and the aggressiveness or the negotiation and all of that, when naturally as an integrator you go quiet. You know,
Mhm.
that's what integrators do. You're just like, it's too much. And I'll just
Mhm.
leave it alone, you
Right.
know. um, and so honoring your um, personality is important.
Mhm.
And so now, what do you think could be a next step with you and your partner? What do you see there? Because now there's personal offense on the table, right? Now
Right.
there are things that was said that's offensive. And just like a marriage, it's either you forgive each other and work it out, or if you guys are dating,
Mhm.
you see what this person's natural reaction to conflict, or like if something didn't go the way as planned, as to how they will treat you,
Mhm.
right? So it's like going on a date, you're dating somebody, and like they see something in your phone and they
Mhm.
blow up and they start acting crazy. Do you continue to date that person? Because once you're locked in, it's only going to get worse.
Right.
So here's a decision that you're going to have to make about that. What are your thoughts?
So, in retrospect of everything that's happened, my partner did have a point, and I acknowledged that. It took a minute for me to acknowledge it, just because I needed to get my pride out of it. Um, so, I apologized for my lack of action in the situation, and he actually elaborated more and explained it in a way of where it did click for me, because initially I was just thinking about it from the transaction portion of it, because like this is going to help us get to where we want to go, and with the experience alone and whatnot. So that's where my intention was. And I'm like, that's taking all that out of it, taking my intention out of it, just looking at the situation for what it was in that moment, I had every opportunity to correct the action that was being taken, and I didn't, just because I'm not confrontational. But like, it still is no excuse. It should have been corrected, because here we are, we're still dealing with the nonsense. And the reason why this started, not the reason why it started, but he went into this with the trying to protect me and making sure that I wasn't being stepped over. And that's exactly what ended up happening in this situation. So his intentions was to protect what we're trying to build, and that's the reason why the whole confrontation happened, because this individual didn't think that he contributed anything to closing the deal or getting the deal started, pretty much. Um, so introducing this individual that I haven't had many dealings with, and then having him be talking to my partner, who I have all this history with, in such a way of where making him, not even making him think, but actually making accusations that he didn't contribute anything, it was hurtful to my partner, and I didn't acknowledge it in the moment. So that was the problem.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a hard time forgiving yourself?
Yes, I tend to, maybe it's not a forgiveness thing, but I hold on to those things, the negatives, and I go back to those things from time to time, if not a lot. So, yeah.
So if I were to say to you, like, man, this was an amazing lesson. Um, Checkpoint, you learned from it, and now it's time to make better choices going forward. How easy or hard would that be for you? And checkpoint simply means you have an awareness of the type of situation that you want to stay away from, right? So it's like, oh man, I did this, it caused this result, and so now I know I don't want to do that again. Checkpoint. Like I get that, right?
Right. Yeah.
Now I could just learn from it. Now,
Mm-hmm.
how hard is it for you to move on from that checkpoint to say, got it, learned my lesson, I'm gonna go again after, like, I'll give this relationship another shot. I'll give this whatever, like, even myself another shot. What does that look like for you?
Well, a couple of days ago, I would have said it would have been very hard. Now that I've actually talked it out with my partner, and I've actually said what's in my mind, because I am a mental creature. I keep a lot of the things that are in my mind right there. I don't express those outwardly. So that's been a problem. Not a problem. It is something that I'm trying to grow out of, I should say. And when confrontation or stress arises in this, the way it did with this one, I just keep everything in. And what I like and respect about my partner is that he notices that, he asks the question, and he won't, like, let me deviate from the question and just, like, where are you at? Like, let's talk. Why are you in a dark place? Because I can see it, let's hash it out. And by doing that, I actually state everything as pretty much like mental vomit, I guess, if you can say.
Yeah.
And yeah, I let all that stuff go, and working
Is
on the
it
forgiveness part.
is it easier for you to write things out?
Yes,
Do you think
I have a
write
journal.
awesome? Do you think sharing your thoughts in the future, again, we're talking about the future now, right? Because I don't like living in the past. We've done it. What did we learn from it? And now let's plan for the future, right? Because like we're just learning, and partnerships, especially, it's a dance. Relationships, it's such a dance where you're learning each other. Don't try to be perfect. Don't try to be like, oh, we're not like those two people over there. Look how they work so well together, right? Like, don't compare, but also honor who you are and honor your personalities. And so the reason why I asked if you write, because sometimes my wife may need to write her thoughts out to then be able to speak, and she may share what she wrote. um I could just go at it, right? Like, I could go at it like right now, like talk it out.
Mhm.
She needs time, so I got to give her the day, I got to give her time. She may need to write it out, and then we could talk again.
Mhm.
And it sounds like the relationship that you may be in may need to be set up in some kind of way where he knows and understands how you communicate, and that you may need to write things out, and then you share with him, say, hey, I want to share with you some of the things I wrote down. This just helps me to organize my thoughts so that I don't stay within. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Do you feel like you'd be able to express yourself a lot better if you were to do that?
Yes, I do actually.
Try it. I think that would be super helpful for you. And not only in this relationship, in many in most
Mhm.
relationships, because this is just the way that you process, right?
Right.
Um, and I couldn't understand that. Let me say, I didn't respect it for the life of me before. Um, because I thought everyone should be like me and be able to talk things through right now. Like, what do you need time to do? Let's talk about it right now,
Mhm.
right? But it wasn't until I intentionally started to want to grow as a leader
Mhm.
that I like, it's impossible for everyone to communicate the way that I do,
Right.
and so I've grown to now start paying more attention to personalities and really honor how different personalities receive information, and work with them in according to how they receive information.
Right. No, that makes sense.
So, are you able to say this happened, and I learned I learned this lesson from it, and this is how I would be able to move forward? Or you may need time to think about what moving forward looks like, but from a forgiveness place, are you and your partner back on the same page, or um, what does that look like?
Yeah, we are back on the same page. It took a couple days of talking and hashing things out. But yes, we are on a better page, and we are also like drafting up more clear and concise agreement between the two of us on what we're supposed to be doing and what our roles are, and being more intentional about what
Yeah,
those roles are going forward.
that's awesome. What would you say the vision for your partnership, and what y'all are doing? What's that? What does that look like?
So, providing quality housing for homeowners as well as renters. We're trying to build a rental portfolio in Massachusetts, and then eventually go to have expanded out to different states that we would like to actually have a place like Florida, Colorado, Illinois. Yeah. So, building a
Awesome.
massive real estate portfolio.
Awesome. Do
Mhm.
you guys have a number, or it's just kind of like I want a lot of properties?
So I want 10,000 units by 2043. That's my personal goal, and he's helping me to accomplish that.
Nice. So 10,000 units. Are these single families or
It's a
multi?
mix, but I want multifamilies more than single families, but I'm not going to shy away from a single family if it falls into my lap.
Sure. So are you guys after multifamilies or?
We are multifamily, yes.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
So you're the underwriter, you're the um, person that's vetting out these deals.
He's actually more the underwriter, actually. He's got a thing for the numbers. So I'm more of the, I get the lead gen put together, the boots on the ground. I would actually do the management of the asset once we have it secured, because my main field is property management. I've been in that for 13 years. So I would be doing that after we've secured the deal and any kind of rehab or anything, because I have carpentry background too.
Oh wow, nice.
Mhm.
So are you are you two integrators working together?
He's well, we took the quiz on rocket fuel, the book, and he's more of a visionary than he is integrator, and I'm more integrator than I am visionary. And I thought it was reverse, quite honestly, but after we took the quiz, it was just very clear that wasn't the case.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's super cool. When it comes to multifamily, what type of assets would you be looking for? Are you looking for
I want to start with
class? What type of class?
so B class, and then once I get a lot more under my belt, I want the A class luxury.
Why when you get a lot more under your belt?
Just because I believe experience is the best teacher. So as I gain more experience and more finesse, I believe I'll be able to acquire a whole lot more as time goes on.
That's interesting. Because I agree that experience is the best teacher.
Hmm.
Um, why not get experience with A class?
There's really no reason why. I mean, it's just me being probably just me being comfortable because that's just what I've managed. I've managed a few A class properties, but not many. And I know that's definitely
See,
requires a lot more, you know, a lot more experience to deal with or to deal with that clientele, I should say. Um, but yeah, probably more than like just it's a matter of me being comfortable, I guess.
I had a call come through and knock me out. Let me just make sure I can hear you properly. 1 second.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Bum bum bum. iPhone. Could you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I cannot hear you. 1 sec. Let me switch my mic and come right back.
Okay.
All right, let's. I'm gonna make this work anyway. Um, say something. Let me see.
I can hear you.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
you're on my actual phone. Um, so I got lost in the question of the experience piece.
Okay. So you said why not just go for A class immediately instead of B class? That's what you stated. What you asked,
This is
and I
tormenting
believe
me.
it's
Hold on. Edit mic, because I can't. It's like super low. You're literally on my actual phone and not my headphones. So
Oh,
I would have
okay.
to like hold the phone to my ears if I have to hear you right now, which which doesn't make for a good show. That would that would sound super duper crazy.
Mhm.
Bum bum bum. This is the struggle, man.
Technology.
Super apologize for this.
No worries.
I just wish I knew how to switch it. I and the crazy thing is, Adrian, is that I'm a tech dude, and I have since I've stopped tech like a few years ago. It's almost like I'm as equal as my mom. Like she, it's just like it's just bad. It's just like really bad. I have not kept up with it. That's how I know I was a fake tech. Like I was just doing it because I can make money. I was a straight fake tech dude. Hold on one second. Let me see if I could actually jump in my settings and
Okay.
fix it. Dun, 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 dun.
You add some Monopoly, or not Monopoly, but Jeopardy music.
Yeah, that doesn't work. Yeah, I have no idea how to fix it. Absolutely no idea how to fix it. Maybe if I go back in the car, I might be able to hear you because
Okay.
out here is noisy.
It looks like a beautiful day, though.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's This is why I don't want to leave Tennessee, man. It's so nice out here.
It looks nice.
Yeah, Tennessee is awesome.
I can
Let me
tell you
see.
that's the
Did
first
my
time I've
wife leave
actually
the
heard
car
that said.
open? She did. All right. Okay, let's try again.
Okay. You can hear me?
Barely, but we can make it work.
Okay. All right. So your question was, why not go straight for A class over B
Yeah.
class? I believe that is it's just a matter of me not being comfortable with it, I think. So I've only dealt with one property technically that was like a considered an A class, and it kind of annoyed me just dealing with that clientele. But that was dealing with it as a property manager, so it'd probably be different as just acquisition, I guess.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's really all a matter of experience, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you start dealing with it, you get used to it, and but if you just don't like it, that's different,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if you just don't enjoy the asset class or whatever, the only reason I asked it is because it's in your trajectory of where you
Yeah.
want to go. I believe sometimes that we give ourselves these steps because of fear,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, well, why not just go for it now? Why go up those stairs? You don't need to skip the line.
Mm-hmm.
So because the things that you have to learn would still be
That's
the
true.
things you have to learn in a few years. So why not
Mm-hmm.
just learn them now and start doing it now?
Very good point. So, like, I believe that good foundation needs to be laid. I don't think of it as like a step, but like I agree with my business partner because that's what I was lacking, um, a firm foundation. Because I have, like what I said, I have the property management and everything. I know how to run property. That's not a challenge for me. However, the challenge is like actually starting it from the ground up, like acquiring the property and deal structuring. Never had to do that really. So that's the challenge for me, and learning all of that and then negotiating with the actual seller. Not in my wheelhouse, but I'm learning it as I go along. So the door knocking as well as talking to sellers and everything, going over what I did wrong and the opportunities to improve and fine tune everything. So not quite sure how my progression is, which is another thing that I'm adding to my repertoire is actually putting in key performance indicators and actually managing those so I can see my growth as I go along, because that was something I was missing as well. I didn't manage or document my growth.
So what if, again, I'm gonna challenge you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What if your foundation was built on a Class A foundation?
I would go with it. I wouldn't have a problem with it. I think it's more because of my, I'm, I'm not quite sure how to change, how to fine tune my mind. I'm working on it daily. It's just I get stuck in the whole menagerie of I need to know all my answers in order to be confident when I'm talking to these people and negotiating. And I'm shaky on those things for right now. And I don't have all the answers. And that's what causes an analysis paralysis, if you will, or something to that effect, because I don't have all the answers. And normally in my field, in property management, people would come to me because I would have the answers. And I guess it's more of a, what would you say? It's a hang up of mine because I have to adjust because I don't have all the answers yet.
Yeah. I mean, what happens when you don't have the answers? What happens next?
There's a lot of uhs, there's a lot of, oh, well, I'll have to get back to you on that. Or it starts to, I feel that it goes downhill. And that's more than likely me in my head. Because I go to the worst scenario, possibly, you know? So I'm like, if I don't have all the answers, I can't sound confident. That's where I go. And I won't get this deal done.
So I'm back, baby. Um, so is it is it ever a I need to there's something I don't know and I need to research versus the ooh the ahs, and that might be how it's initiated, but at some point is that like a cue to say I need more knowledge here?
Mm-hmm. And I definitely agree with that. I do need more knowledge. It's like I'm drinking from a fire hose, so I'm not quite sure if I don't. I need to focus on just, maybe that's the thing. I'm saying that I need to focus on just one thing in order to absorb it. What do you what do you think about that? Am I making excuses just because I need to say I need to focus on one thing?
No, I I agree with you on focusing, especially if you're doing multifamily, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I let the comment slide that you made before, where it's like, but I'm gonna do a single family if it falls on my lap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure, if you've already been an expert there,
Uh-huh.
right? Like, if you could do, somebody sends me a deal, a single family deal,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, it's probably gonna take me no more than 5 emails to probably wholesale it. If I can't send 5 emails to get rid of it, I can't help you
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not going to spend more than 10, 15 minutes
Mm-hmm.
looking after a deal that's outside of, yes, I know how to make money on it. Yes, it's something that I've done, but I'm not willing to take my time away from what I'm doing right now to wholesale a deal for 40, $50,000. I'm not doing that
Hmm.
because in the grand scheme of things, what I'm building towards, even though I may not make another dollar in a month, I still rather not pull my attention away because the stepping stones that I'm building is towards making something way bigger than $40,000, $50,000. You see what I mean? Now,
Yes.
if I'm a expert at this thing and it's just gonna be like boom, I could just turn it around really quickly. It's not gonna
Hmm.
take me a lot of time.
Hmm.
Sure, do it. But if not, I wouldn't touch it.
Okay.
Not until you become an expert in what you're doing.
Right. So I'm focusing on foreclosure multifamilies. So that is the route that I'm taking, and I'm listening to educational videos for that, as well as talking with people who are dealing with it as well and absorbing their experience. So, and that's why I chose the door knocking option to get directly in front of people. So that way it's a little bit quicker to get my answer, I guess, whether it's a no or a yes or what have you, you know. At least I know it's one of those things or it's a follow up, and I just keep on going back and building rapport.
Yeah. No, I think it's a strategy that could work. Definitely think is a strategy that's doable. Especially now that you and your partner, you guys are on the same page. So
Hmm.
I think it could definitely work.
Yeah, I think so too. And it will.
How long have you exactly it will. How long have you been working with your partner?
7 years.
Wow, that is a long time.
Hmm. But technically, if I'm going to be honest, we didn't start our partnership legit until 2022. So technically, the partnership's only a year old, and he came on board to help me with my dream. So, and he just what he contributes to that is one, support, two, like his acumen is so polished. I mean, he sees things in a very general, in big picture sense, and then he doesn't allow me, or he helps me not to just get so stuck in the mud or in the. He brings me up to the surface so I can see a clearer picture because I get really bombarded with a whole mess of things as they come up. It's like I don't know, I don't remember where I got this from, but it's like an analogy of where you have rock, you have um, gravel, and you have sand, and you have water. And if you put the sand in before the gravel and you put the rocks in first, you're not going to be able to put all the rocks in to this container. And the rocks are the big things, the big priorities. The gravel is like your day-to-day tasks. The sand are the things that just get the little small little minor things that come in throughout the day, through the week, and then the water is everything else, like last minute things that come up that you have to deal with in the moment. So, but making sure that you focus on the priority things, get the rocks in first, then the gravel, then the sand, then the water, then everything fits. So
Awesome.
I get, yeah, yeah. I don't remember where I got that from. I watched it somewhere, but that made a lot of sense. It did stick with me.
More than likely, if you did not read the four maps of happy, successful people, then you may have heard me say it. And I love the way
Okay,
you articulated it back.
okay, okay. I was just saying like something. I heard it from somewhere. I don't know if I read it or I heard it, but yeah, it did.
Um,
It stuck with me.
yeah, no,
Mm-hmm.
that's an amazing example.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so your partnership is very interesting.
Hmm.
It's very interesting. Because it seems like you guys were friends before, right?
Yes. Hmm.
And then now you're in a partnership.
Yes.
Very tricky, I'll tell you.
Hmm.
Very, very tricky, especially not having very clear outline expectations.
Hmm.
Um, like that would be key. That would definitely be key. And you also mentioned something where he he came in to help you achieve your goals, right?
Correct. Hmm.
What are his goals?
His is more small scale. He's okay with just getting a multifamily once every year or every 2 years. He doesn't need anything large or huge or anything. Because if anything that he acquires, he's gonna give it over to me to manage because he doesn't want to deal with tenants or anything like that. He's more of a private money lender uh, type of guy.
Got it.
Hmm.
So here's the challenge with that.
Hmm.
Have you ever heard me give the analogy or the talk about the need why?
No, no.
So there are three different types of whys.
Hmm.
And the first why, and this comes from the same book that you just gave the example of, four maps of happy, successful people. The first why is the need why. And the need why is you needing to do something. Excuse me. You need to do something for yourself because it's almost like when you need to eat and you're hungry and you just need to eat, you go eat. And so like people in positions where they're just like they need to provide, they do anything to be able to get money, make money, do whatever, right?
Hmm.
And the only thing with a need why is that when you achieve the goal, just like when you eat, you're you're full, you're content.
Hmm.
And the reason why most people don't take action, especially people who have decent jobs, is because their needs are met.
Hmm.
And so the reason I bring this up when it comes to your partner is because if his goal isn't aligned with yours, his needs will be met after getting one deal,
Hmm.
and his drive to help you is going to change because his needs are already met.
Hmm.
And so it's not that he wouldn't do it, but
Hmm.
the drive to do it wouldn't be as high as yours, and it may frustrate you.
Hmm.
So it's something to also consider because the visions don't align.
Yeah. His vision is more, he wants to establish multiple passive income streams, and real estate is one of those income streams that he wants to have.
Yep.
So he definitely has the drive, that's for sure. But no, the vision, my vision, that is strictly all me and what he wants to help contribute to. Um, and utilize his resources just as well as my resources to bring that to reality.
Yeah.
But
No.
no,
And
you are correct. His goals are different.
yeah. And he would help you as much as it helps him. And it
Mm-hmm.
sounds very bad to say like just so raw,
Mm-hmm.
but I have I've had a few different partners at this point,
Mhm.
and the reason why we have not been on alignment is because we had a mismatch of visions, and we tried to make it work. We tried to kind of finagle and be super clear and concise with that vision and let
Mhm.
it be the thing that you connect on, because somebody will, for example, I was always very, very clear to with anyone that I worked with that
Mhm.
I'm trying to get to a specific number in real estate and I'm done. I'm
Mhm.
not a real estate mogul. I'm not a real estate anything. Like it is not my desire to teach people real estate.
Mhm.
I love what real estate has done for me and transformed my life, but real estate isn't it for me. I much more prefer doing this. This is
Right.
my heart.
Mhm.
And so I let people know, hey, I'm willing to come in here and work hard and grind right now, but once I get to a certain place, I'm done with real estate.
Mhm.
And and right now I'm kind of at that place where I'm kind of like, all right, I don't have to hustle and
Mhm.
bustle at real estate like I used to before.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
Not everyone would be as clear as I am.
True.
They will they will just stop showing up. You send them a deal, you're trying to get back. Oh, I'm with my kids. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, I'm doing that. And they could all be valid reasons, but
Mhm.
before they would have found the time. You know what I mean?
Right. Mhm.
But once their needs are met, everything else comes first.
Right. I gotcha.
So your homework is to go understand and really fine tune what this partnership looks like,
Mhm.
because without that, man, it's going to be super temporary. And if
Right.
you're okay with that, then, then it's all good.
No, no. I want to get clarity.
Do it. It's going to help.
Mhm.
It's going to help a lot.
Definitely. I appreciate it.
No problem. Any final questions as we wrap up? And I'm so sorry for like all the drama with my
No problem.
audio and all that type of stuff.
Life happens. Technology can be iffy. But
I know.
no, right now we're just closing this one chapter. We're taking in all the lessons and everything. We are fine tuning actually today and tomorrow, in our partnership and solidifying our roles and all that and what we will be doing, um, and to make those like pretty much hardcore solidified pretty much, and it's all going to be in writing too. So we want to make sure that we're completely 100% focused and clear on what we're trying to accomplish. And I'm going to play my part, play my role as well in that as we structure everything. So,
I love it.
mhm.
I love it. Good stuff, Adrian. Well, thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you jumping on here and allowing me to guide you and to share this time with you.
I
Um,
appreciate you because tonight this has been awesome. And I really enjoyed your birthday and happy birthday, by the way, birthday month.
thank you so much.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much.
You're
All
welcome.
right, guys. So here we are again, ending another day where Miracle March has just been so good, man. Like being able to be able to guide persons through different situations has been really incredible. And as you could see, you're probably not going through something alone. You're not going through it alone. We're all on this entrepreneur journey together, and someone else may be going through the same thing as you. So if it is that you are in this position where you're going through something, feel free to reach out, and reach out for guidance, or even better yet, join my community of Purpose Ways. Go to purposeways.com and join my community, because we're starting a new group coaching sessions that is all about helping newer entrepreneurs. It's all about that. And it's the mindset needed to be able to dive into things like that, to partnerships and to understanding some of the first steps. And I'll tell you, this new mentorship, this new coaching program really came about because I wanted to give others things I wish I knew before becoming my own boss. That's the reason why this kind of came about. And the curriculum I've already created, it's amazing. I already created the first 12 months, and it's a lifetime coaching program. So you're going to be in this coaching program till thy kingdom come. And I'm super excited about that. So go to Purpose Waze, purposewaze.com to register and get started with me on April 6th. We start at 6 p.m. So looking forward to it. Thank you all. Like and subscribe. Share this link. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow at 2. Tomorrow we're at 2 for another day of Miracle March. Peace, y'all.